a tower fan that also purifies your air. Let's check it out. Dave Taylor here, and I'm checking out this. This is the Dreo 45-inch Air Purifier Tower Fan. So the top portion is an oscillating tower fan, and then the bottom portion is actually a HEPA air purifier. So it's a really slick design. When you have it all going, it puts out an enormous amount of air, and all of it's coming in through the bottom and going through the filtration system. So not only will this cool down your space, but it will also clean the air, and that's really slick. Now you see this blue on the front here? That blue indicates I have very good air quality. So one of the things Dreo's done really well is they've really engineered that user experience, and they have a ton of fans. I've looked at a ton of their fans. I really like the brand. They are one of the best-selling fans in the world, actually, and these demonstrate why, or this one demonstrates why. So I'm going to jump in with some close-ups in a minute, but for now, let me just show you that there's a touch-sensitive panel on the top that gives you controls, and it also includes a remote control that you can use, and there's also an app, and we'll plug in that app and check that out in a minute too, but let me give you some basic specs. So there's 120-degree oscillation, which I'm going to turn on. And there we go. So now it's starting to oscillate, and 120 degrees is really nice. I've looked at fans that have like 80 or 90 degrees, and the wider it can oscillate, the more you can put it into a corner and have it really work and clear a space for you. Now, you want to have it at least a foot from the wall, which you can see I'm demonstrating here, because you want to have nice airflow around it. But the idea that you don't need this in the middle of the room, but you can have it in a corner or something, that's really terrific. So 120-degree oscillation. It's a dual motor system with 5 different speeds and at maximum speed. And let's do that. So there's a plus on the top. And that should be speeding it up quite a bit. And I can see all the things around the camera are now blowing away. So it puts out a maximum of 1,558 cubic feet of air per minute. So that's pretty powerful. You're going to be able to feel that 25, 30 feet away, and still notice that it's still pretty darn quiet. So in sleep mode with just the fan, it's down to 25 decibels, which means you're not going to hear it at all. You will have environmental noise that'll be at least that loud. It does have a 24-hour timer, so this works out really well for people that want to be able to like set it when they go to bed and have it automatically turn off at say 9 a.m. because you've left for work and you don't want to worry about having to remember it. But since it does have internet connectivity, it also means you could do that from the app at work. You can say, oh, let me check. Oh, still on. Turn it off. Boom. Easy as that. So it's a bladeless fan system, which means it's completely safe for little people, which I really appreciate. And the way it's designed, it's really easy to pop the filter out here. So it has this round HEPA filter, and it's easy to pop that out. And then the back, you can take the entire back off and you can just rinse the system out because it is going to collect dust. My experience with fans in dusty environments is the dust ends up in the fan, which I guess is the point of an air purifier, so that's totally logical. The display will auto dim based on the illumination level, which is super important for people that want to have a really dark room when they sleep. It will detect that it's in a dark room and it'll turn the display off. So that's really perfect behavior. In terms of the HEPA filter at the bottom, and I don't know if it's just me, but I look at this and I think that it's like one of those propane space heaters that restaurants use. So it's that similar sort of design with that lower base, but the lower base is that air purifier, And that air purifier gets 99.97% of particulate matter down to 0.3 micrometers. So it's going to pick up pollen and dander and dust, and even if there's like smoke from a fire in the area, it'll be able to pick that up and it'll be able to avoid you having to breathe it, which is the entire purpose. So Dreo app gives you Alexa compatibility. Let me jump to some close-ups so you can see the front display and you can see the top and how those controls work. The display offers a lot of information, and here you can see that I am connected to Wi-Fi and that I have muted the system so I don't get beeps. That 1 represents air quality. That is remarkably low, and you can see that that is true because you can see micrograms per cubic meter. And then that A means I'm in auto mode, and then the auto with the leaf on the right is the purification mode. Notice in particular that blue bar, which indicates I have excellent air quality. If it was green, it would be good air quality, orange for moderate, and red for poor air quality. Now, let's jump and look at the top too. The buttons on the control panel are power, mode button to switch between normal, auto, sleep, and breeze, purification mode, increase speed, decrease speed, an information button that will make sure you can see your air quality, a timer, and of course the oscillation button. Now let's pair the fan with the Dreo app. So I launched the Dreo app, and because I have other fans, you already see them in the app, but I'm going to press plus, and then it should find the device. There it is, Purifier Tower Fan. It doesn't get much easier than that. And let's see, press and hold the button indicated for 5 seconds. So that is the oscillation button. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It actually has a countdown timer. And so now select Wi-Fi. That looks like it's good. And I'm going to connect to the device. And this seems like it's going slow, but my experience is that all of a sudden it leaps forward significant amounts. So I don't think it's going to take long. As you can see here, it's going pretty quickly actually, even though that first couple of taps were slow. So we're done. That's all I needed to do. We'll put it in the default room. And I guess there are 2 different colors, and I think that refers to the blade in here. This is a transparent portion, and then there's a blade in there. And when I say blade, I think it's actually rubber, but it's completely sealed anyway. And you can have that be blue or orange. Pretty sure mine's blue, so we'll do blue. And now here it is. So now I have a huge number of controls. So I can go here and I can change the purification level. Again, this is still blue, and you can see in the app it's showing me blue. So my air quality is already really good. And that's partially because I have other air purifiers also running. But I can go into the fan and I can go into sleep mode and drop it down. Let's drop it down to 4. And now it's super quiet. So now it's oscillating at 90 degrees, but I can change that. You can actually fine tune it, which I think is really cool. And you can do it asymmetrically, where I can just say, just have it work in that portion of the room. Or I can just say, boom, let's do the full 120, super easy. And then the display, I can turn the display off if I want. If I really never want to see any illumination from this portion, I don't want to see any data, I'll use the app, thank you very much. I can turn the display off from the app. There's panel sounds that are already turned off, child lock. As you can see, there's just so much you can do here, and I really like it. Tracks filter life. I can go into settings and I can change a bunch of this stuff, including we can check, let's see if there's a firmware version that's updatable, and we already have the latest firmware. You wouldn't think that's a big deal, but it's useful. And notice it also gives me the ability to hook it up to both Alexa and Google Assistant. So if I give it a memorable name, I can then say something like, turn on Purifier Fan, and then it would just turn it on without me having to touch anything, which is ideal. But this app is running through Wi-Fi, and this is talking to my Wi-Fi network, which means I could turn this on my way home. And by the time I get home, it will have moved all the air and cleaned it up a little bit, and it'll just make it a more pleasant environment for me to walk into. So that's what I wanted to show you with the app. And like I said, it's just delightfully easy to work with. And I have all of my Dreo fans in that app, which just gives me power. I can set things up. It's actually really great. So that's pretty much everything. It's 46.5 inches tall, and at the base, at the widest, it's 11 inches across, and it is a little bit heavy because there's a lot going on here. So it's about 18 pounds, 17.8 pounds. So it's not the most convenient to pick up and move around, but the whole point is you don't need to do that. You can just set it up as I have here in a corner, and it's going to be good to go. So really, if you're looking for an air purifier and you want a fan, there's no reason in the world not to have them paired. And have them in one unit makes life so much easier. And it's a nice, elegant looking unit that's comparable to another brand that starts with D but charges a whole heck of a lot more for products that might not be as good. We're just going to go that far with that. So this is one definitely worth checking out. I think it's worth, adding to your home or office. There's no space that it's not going to make more pleasant. So really nice. I am going to ask you to subscribe to my channel. Click or tap on that subscribe button. Hit that bell icon for notifications. Give me a thumbs up if you found this of value, and I hope you did. Great. This is the Dreo 45-inch Air Purifier Tower Fan, and it is $299.99, currently with a $30 coupon discount, dropping it down to $269.99 at Amazon.com. And just so you know, replacement HEPA air filters are $39.99 each. So I would recommend ordering an extra because they last 6 to 12 months. You can probably push it further than that. What I do is I'll take them out and I'll vacuum them. But eventually that's not going to really be working really well. So it's nice to know that there are replacements and that they're actually considerably less expensive than you might think. So that's everything. I'm going to actually go put this in my bedroom. So I'll hope to catch you in my next video.